So today we're starting a series on different types of meditation. What's going on outside of us now, the only way to escape it is by mastering your thoughts, by mastering your emotions. We're coming now to a time that I love the expression, either, what's it saying about get off the pot or
shift or get off the pot.
Shift or get off the pot. This is it. You have an opportunity now to come in to a whole different new earth. Heaven on earth. But it starts within. And I want to share with you, our co-founder, Myrtle Fillmore, wrote a book on all her healing letters. She was a woman that started out with tuberculosis, and when she changed the way she looked at her dis-ease, changed the way she thought about it, the way she felt about it, she was able to cure herself. That is what unity is all about. How to heal and come back in alignment with the truth of your spiritual beingness. So I just wanted to read to you how she starts this book off, so you kind of come to an understanding of what we go through before we make that decision to do something different. And this is how we'll start out. All of us sooner or later come to a place in our development where we are no longer satisfied to go on living the old life. Without the knowledge of our oneness with God, the source of our being. Sometimes when we reach this point in our soul's progress, we do not at first know just what is taking place. How many of us have been so confused by what's happening inwardly to us? We're starting to feel different, think different, we're not sure what's going on. And the only way to adjust that is to go within. You will not find it outside of yourself. Okay? You will not find it outside yourself. Keep on looking, keep on searching. That's why we're going to start with meditation, because that takes us in to the temple of our sacredness. Yes. We may become restless and dissatisfied. Ooh. How many of you become restless and dissatisfied? And what happened when you became that way? So usually it takes us, as we say in support groups, hitting rock bottom before we decide we're going to do something different. And most people do something different by just adding on another addiction. I won't drink today, but I'm going to go out and shop. Or, I'm going to sit in front of the TV and just, numb myself. So we go on this search. It's not about searching for God out here. We go on a search of a materialistic relief. And some of us have to get so down in the gutter before we decide, I guess maybe I better do something different. Maybe I better come to unity and see what they're doing that makes them also happy people. And we're not happy all the time, but we know how to get to that place of joy because we know that's our true essence.
We know how to surf.
Yeah, we know how to surf the wave. That's what we're doing now, surfing the wave. Because life is just like that. It's like a body of water. It's the ebb and the flow of the life. But when you get down here, you know how to get back up on top of there. And you also know that getting down here is giving you direction in what you need to look at and give attention to so that you can rise above it. That's life. That's life. Okay. We may go through experiences which we do not understand. There's a lot of things I'm going through right now. And I have to go to some of my mentors and say, what's going on here? To find some understanding. A lot of times, though, when I just go within, that understanding is gained just in the peacefulness within me. We may even be tempted to think that our good has gone from us. How many of you got to that point? where you didn't even think that you deserved any good. You were just so low down, it's just like, well, it's gone. I did. I wanted to die, and I tried to kill myself. So I understand when we get to the point where we lose hope, and I wasn't willing to go and look in a different direction as far as it came to God, because I hated God for a long time. Yeah. And so I came to an awareness that it was time I had to do something different. But it was almost at the point of no return. So we don't want to do that. And a lot of people, that's what they're doing now. They don't know where to go. They don't know what to do. Their world was crumbling around them. They thought the world outside of them was a good place to be. But it's not. It's still ruled. It's still governed. It's still taking away the expression of our divinity. So people have given up. A lot of suicides are happening. And they're probably going to continue to happen. But we see them coming and joining us and gaining that light and that love before they have to go all the way to that deep, deep of no return. We may even be tempted, but just as surely as there is God, the one presence and one power, we shall find that we are but going from one room, as if it were, into another larger and lighter room. So that's, it's really simple when you look at life from a different perception, different perspective. It says we've lived in this one little room all of our life, in this little box. We have all these walls, not even realizing if we opened a window, we could escape that confinedness. And that's what we're doing here. We're just opening a window and we're going into another room, another dimension, right? That's all we're doing. And it's a lighter, brighter room. So you just keep on ascending and keep on elevating as you go from one room to the next room. Yes. So I forgot my little flicker. So we're here. You're mastered the selfie now. Master thyself. Again, everybody's mastering something outside of themselves, right? You can master nothing until you go within. Because within is where we master what we're creating outside of ourselves. Make sense? Ta-da! Ta-da! Big aha moment there. So yes, so we're going to start doing this through meditation practices. So I wanted to give you a definition. I found this. I thought this was really beautiful. Meditation means conscious self-expansion. How many of you go into meditation now? I know Sarah does. And you're out here. Your consciousness is so expanded, there's no limits. Right? Yes. It's a beautiful, beautiful universe. So when you start meditating, you will tap into that expansion. You're unlimited people, unlimited gods, unlimited masters. Meditation means one's conscious awareness of the transcendental reality. Reality, capital R. You transcend above all of this that's temporary. None of this is lasting. None of this is real. It will be here and be gone. We want to get to where our reality is unlimited, eternal, everlasting. And you can do that right here, right now. Meditation means the recognition or the discovery of one's own true self. I did not know who I was until I started this path of self-discovery. And I'm not talking about just the self as a spiritual being. I'm talking about this little ego person with personalities, with emotions, with failures, with mistakes, with alcoholism, all of it. I've experienced so much. The death of 3 of my children, the death of my mom at the age of 7. I've experienced so much. But every single one of those experiences grew me, gave me strength to see that I can get through anything. But now now I can get through it without having to suffer so much. Because now, when I feel the pain of something, I know what to do with it. I know to look at it, to give it attention, to embrace it, to love it. Maybe there's an action step I have to take. Maybe there's a forgiveness practice I have to incorporate. We did a forgiveness Wednesday night where we looked in the mirror. And it wasn't that we needed to forgive anybody. We needed to forgive ourselves for forgetting that we are so good, capital G, that we are divine. And we looked in those mirrors after doing a long meditation, and we said, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. I thank you. And when we connect to that forgiveness within our own heart, as that Carly does, it radiates all over the place. That's how we make a change. That's how we make a change. It is through meditation that we transcend limitation, bondage, and imperfection. All of these things that have been programmed to believe about ourselves were just false beliefs, were just an error way of thinking, where it kept us vibrating very, very low. But in meditation, you're able to raise that up. And you can even receive guidance and direction. So when you come out of that, you know the next step. You have the clarity to move and evolve. So I just thought this just said it all, didn't it? Beautiful. So, you are not your body. That is the biggest problem with us today. Believing that we are actually this body. This is just a vessel. We're just using this vessel in a three-dimensional world that we will drop out of and be our radiant self. And this was given to me years ago from Brad Shields, who actually, hi Wade, love you, who actually came back after a death experience he had, and what word am I looking for?
NDE, near-death experience.
Near-death experience. So he gave all of us this because he said, this is what you are. This is what you are. So when I go in meditation now, this is what I see. I see this light right here in my center, radiating out. And I have this in numerous places throughout my home and throughout here. Just as a reminder, that is who I truly am. So, we have to get to a place in our evolution where we are not so focused on our bodies. You know, look at how people, they spend all this money. She's probably thinking, oh my gosh, I spent $5,000 on my breasts, I spent liposuction, gym, all of these things that she's out here doing outside of herself, trying to create this beautiful image, pleasing to the eyes, and has no connection to the truth of who she really is. So the first thing that we need to really come into realizing is to fall away from being so attached to our bodies. Because when you come into alignment with that spiritual essence of yourself, guess what's going to happen? You're going to start eating right. You're going to start doing the things that are going to create this beautiful temple that you're in. A lot of our girls from our Wednesday night class, they've all joined gyms, or they're ready. They're ready to do something because they've been coming here every week, and they're learning that this divine person they are deserves to have exercise and movement. So they're out there doing it. I stopped eating meat a week ago because I had a transformation happen to me. I'm not going to go into details, but the next time that I went to eat a piece of meat, I felt the pain of the animal. So I've come into a place of oneness with all that is. And because of that, I am seeing things differently. I'm experiencing what happens to the animal. So I've decided not to eat meat and changing my diet. And that just came from a realization that that is what is going to be good for my temple, for me. Does that mean everyone should do that? No. You are all individualized expression of source. You're going to do what feels right for you. You're going to do it when you're ready. Okay? So never look at somebody and allow them to tell you this is what you need to do. You need to quit eating meat to be a spiritual being. No. You follow your own intuitive nature of that expression of God that you are. It's not the same for everybody. And that's where we have gotten so programmed into this world about everything needing to look and be a certain way. It's your experiences, it's your life, it's your evolution. And however you do that is up to you. And once we let go of other people's opinions, you will feel the freedom and the peace that will come with that. So, you don't give up the intention and you don't give up the desire, you give up the attachment to the results. So as we go into meditation, we want to pay attention to something. And what we're going to start out today with is going to be guided meditations, because that's probably the easiest, simplest place to start meditating. Once you get further along in your meditations, you will desire a different form. And I also wanted to say to you that what some meditations may work for some and some may not work for some. So you want to find a meditation, just start playing with them. And we'll do this every Sunday, different meditations, and find what works for you. Do you have to sit a certain way, do it a certain time, breathe a certain way? No, you don't have to. But the practices that we learn do help us get into that state of meditation by using the breath. And maybe doing your meditation the same time every day. But you are the master. Once you realize that you are the master, you do what is right and feels good to you. It's all about coming in alignment with what feels good and resonates with you and your needs. And that all may look different. So, we have these desires that we go in with meditation, but the thing about what I want you to understand is when you are attached to it, right, and you expect it to look a certain way, you're going to be let down. Because you have not surrendered into it, you're holding on to it, and your ego's still present, so it's going to manufacture in your mind a certain way that the ego thinks it should look. But when you let go and you surrender into source, and you just allow whatever that desire is, that intention is, to unfold from the energy of that source. Let it unfold, surrender, let it go. Don't keep picking it back up and trying to make it seem and be a certain way. Because you have unlimited possibilities when you let it go and you allow the universe to show it to you in the most perfect way for you. It's trusting that higher self of yourself to know that it will manifest itself perfectly when you're ready for it. So the biggest thing is don't be attached to the results. Okay? That's imprisonment, when you imprison yourself to attachment. So I wanted to just show you here what happens to a person when they go into meditation. This is before meditation, and this is 25 minutes afterwards over here. Look at the difference in the brain. Okay? And this is theta brain waves occur most often in sleep, but are dominant in deep meditation. Theta is our gateway to learning, memory, and intuition. In theta, our senses are withdrawn from the external world and focus on signals originating from within.
This is your brain on meditation.
There we go. This is your brain on meditation, yeah. Last night I couldn't sleep, so I started listening to theta waves and delta waves and stuff, trying to just calm me down and relax me. So this is what happens. And so many people that have so many problems with dis-ease and restlessness and nervous problems and all these things, because the body probably has never been in a relaxed state. The body's never had an opportunity to rest and take a time out. Even in their sleep, they're probably not achieving that. So meditation can train the brain to rest and relax and listen. And the more you meditate, that busyness of your thoughts and everything going on, it will start to slow down because the brain likes relaxation. It will react to that process. But as you practice it, those thoughts will calm down as well. Like anything in life, it is a practice. So you have a choice to even have your brain to be actually evolved. So I love this saying here, he who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe. So this is what we are trying to get through in our meditation. Bringing harmony within ourselves, and everything out here will harmonize for you, because you will see it different. You will begin to love what is outside, even when, your ego wants to say, this is terrible, this is bad. What's that robot that used to say?
Danger.
Right, younger people don't know what we're talking about. But
Lost in space.
Lost in space, that's right.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Yes, there we go. There are more people, right age.
Do you know, Lisa, that's really your heaven on earth.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
That's the heaven we aspire to.
Yes.
Because if you can make this for you on earth, your life is unbelievable.
Yes. And a lot of us are experiencing that. We're having those times of heaven on earth. Total and complete bliss and joy. But yet, remember, we are in the ebb and flow. So as long as we're here, we're going to be in the ebb and flow. We're going to be learning what we need to learn, what we've come here to learn, and the experiences we need to have for that.
But it puts back in.
Oh, yes, it
You
does.
know, the more you have lived there, the less likely you are to want to step out of that place.
Exactly. I fought to meditate. I just could not calm myself down long enough to sit still. Now, I don't go without it. I look forward to it. I don't watch TV hardly anymore. I'm either meditating or I'm listening to something on my Gaia channel. Because there's no more desire for things out here. There's no more desire to watch shows that are vibrating so low. There's no more desire for that. Because I have found,
Amen to that.
Amen to that. I have found that bliss and that harmony. And that's where I want to stay as much as I possibly can. Yes. So that's what we're here to do. That's all. That's what it's all about. And then we harmonize with everything and everybody. Even the people that I didn't think I could ever feel love for. I love them so much. I had an ex-husband, I've shared this with some of you, that I was married to for 12 years. Well, I was with for 12, but married 6. And he lost his wife last week. And I left, and it was a very terrible breakup, and I never got to have any closure. He actually threw all my clothes out the back door and locked the door. And so I never had closure with him. And I wrote a letter, and he wrote it back and had big black letters on it telling me how he wanted nothing to do with me, and didn't even read the letter. That I wanted to forgive. I wanted to ask for his forgiveness. So anyway, when I found out he had lost his wife, I started feeling his pain. And I thought, this was a man who was not good to me. This was a man who I tried to kill myself with. This was a man who didn't have compassion for me. It's all about him. But I had this great, great pain for his loss because I knew how much he loved the wife he was with. For 20 years they were together. And he's been like this presence with me all week. That's when you know that you are the Christ consciousness. That's when you know, when you are able to come from that demonstration of Jesus, where no matter what, when he's hanging on the cross and he says, forgive them, Lord, for they know not what they do. He did not know what he did because he was living from a state of ignorance. So I bless him. And I have great compassion for him. And those are how you know when you come in to that Christ consciousness of great compassion and great love for even those that harm you. Even those that harm you. That's what we're here to evolve into, that Christ consciousness. So we're going to go into a guided meditation. And she wants us to focus on the word clarity. Now, in guided meditations, what they do for us is they create a space for you, a lot of them, not all of them, but they create a space for you to be active within the meditation, where you are a participant in the meditation. So as you're being this active participant in this meditation, your mind is calming down, quieting down. You're not so attached to your thoughts because you're busy in the meditation, being active in the meditation. So that's why it's a beautiful place to start when you first start meditating, to create that. And so, but she wants you to hold the word clarity. And as you do this, when things come up through your meditation, you want to write those down. Things that maybe you need to release today. I know I have a lot to release, so I'm going to be using the burning bowl today. But paying attention, focusing on the meditation that will bring up things that you need to give attention to. Okay? Now, most of the time, you may not receive what you need to pay attention to until you're on the other side of the meditation. Okay? So it's good when you get done with the guided meditation and not just jump up, but just sit there. And this is something I just learned in my readings for this week. Just to sit still for a little bit so that you can still be listening. Because after the meditation's over, you may be receiving some clarity that you need to receive. So she also uses where you wipe the window off. So if something comes up as you're inside this meditation, and you say, oh, I need to wipe that off, remember that and let's release it today, okay? And when we release, we create space, we create a void, and we want to affirm a truth after we do a release. So it's a two-process thing, okay? So you'll release with the candle, take your paper out of your notebook, write what you want, release, and then you will put it in here, and then you'll light your match, candle, and then you'll affirm by lighting your own candle. That's that process that we will do. But one thing I find in meditations that I'm watching on YouTube, they don't ground anybody first. So that's very important to ground ourselves so that we're connected, because we are still in the three-dimensional world. We are still here. We are still human. And sometimes, like I'm a person, I like to take flights. And so Carly's always saying, ground yourself first. Gene Wessel used to tell me that too. So I just invite you, before you do any meditation, to get into that process of grounding first. So let's just get comfortable in our seats. Let's create our spines. Let's have them straight in alignment. This is the life force in your body. Just allow your chair to support you and feel that this is what the universe is doing for you. It's always supporting you no matter what. Ground your feet down into the floor. Use a visualization of coming from your spine and your feet and grounding and wrapping cords or tree trunks, or I like to use the crystal light around Mother Earth's center. And now we're grounded into her love and her beauty, her light. And then as we go up, back up into our being, we connect with our heart. And we open our crown chakra up to connect to Source and all that is, and we allow that to open up as we connect back to our heart again. So enjoy this meditation. Give it attention. Give it focus. Pay attention to the feelings that come up for you, what is coming up for you, so that we may release it and affirm your truth.